Today, we finished the 20th century with probably the second or third idol anime on my hate list, Fancy Lala, aka Magical Stage Fancy Lala. I know a lot of people like Fancy Lala, but I don't. It has strengths, but the faults outweigh them by far. Remember, art is subjective. Anime is art, thus, anime is subjective. Just because I hate this doesn't mean you will. But I think you'll think it's less good after this episode. To talk about Fancy Lala, we have to go back to the 80s.
It's the 80s, do a lot of coke and vote for Ronald Reagan.
Studio Pierrot made the Magical Girl series. That consists of Creamy Mami, Persia, Magical Emmy, and Pastel Yumi, which I talked about here. Creamy Mami was probably the most successful idol anime of the 80s. Enough to warrant a 30th anniversary celebration of the show and eventually a release in the US. It is a huge part of Magical Girl history. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of Studio Pierrot, they brought back the Magical Girl series in the form of the Magical Stage Fancy Lala. Since the last Magical Girl series entry, Pastel Yumi, the genre changed significantly. We had Sailor Moon, which added a Sentai flavor and changed Magical Girl anime sense. And on the horizon we had Cardcaptor Sakura, hitting the anime scene in '98 and adding the gotta catch 'em all element to mahou shoujo. How is Fancy Lala going to fit into the genre now? Because this was the 20th anniversary project, they wanted to make a throwback to shows like Creamy Mami. But this was also a throwback to an OVA they made in 1988. Harbor Light Story, Fashion Lala Yori. So before we go 90s, let's go back to the 80s again. Wish I saved that MST3K reference. Harbor Light Story Fashion Lala Yori is about an 11-year-old named Miho who wants to be a designer. But it is also about terrorism, political drama, family genre, incest, and child abuse, and on top of that it's a Cinderella story with fashion designers. It's like they took two wildly different OVAs and then mashed them together because they only had the money to do one. It's not for kids. It's not for anyone, it's that bad. But it's the riffable type of bad you'd watch with friends. This is best forgotten. The original creator was Mochizuki Tomomi, who also wrote episodes 1, 2, 7, 11, 15, 19, 25, and 26, and supervised the rest of the show. He's no stranger to idol anime, since he worked on, you guessed it, Creamy Mami, but he also worked on Birth Debut, and much later other idol anime, such as Aikatsu, Idolmaster, Utapri, and the best one of all, Space Brothers. Okay, that isn't one, but go watch it because it's really good. But out of what I mentioned, Fancy Lala is his only one as original creator. Not an adaptation like with House of Five Leaves, but creator. I could tell that they looked at what came before in the Magical Girl series from the 80s and added a dash of common sense to the franchise through Fancy Lala, but I think they missed something. The overall silliness of the situation of being a magical girl. It what gave Yumi, Emmy, Persia, and Mami its charm in the first place. Fancy Lala was directed by Takahiro Omori. I really don't like Fancy Lala. What else did this guy do? Wait, he directed Hellgirl? I love Hellgirl. Oh, he directed Bakano? Samurai Flamenco? Princess Jellyfish? Oh wow, he worked on so much cool stuff. Was Fancy Lala just not his wheelhouse? It just seems to be the only Magical Girl show on the list of works he worked on. Maybe he just wasn't for Magical Girls. The character design was from Akemi Tada. She was the character designer for Creamy Mami and other anime including Fancy Lala. Which is weird because while I love her character designs in other work, I hate them in Fancy Lala. I don't think they were a right choice for a Magical Girl anime. It goes for more realism than its contemporaries like Cardcaptor Sakura. I think the cuter approach should have been implemented for the story, which is weird to say because this person also drew Creamy Mami. The Fancy Lala style is a bit too grown up for this anime. I will say that fashion has a huge part in the show due to Miho having to draw clothes for Lala, and Takada incorporates a lot of fashion into her work. So, a plus. Like Creamy Mami, this uses a new idol, Reiko Amore. Reiko Amore was only 14 when she starred as Miho in Fancy Lala. She sung the opening and ending themes and other songs. 7 CDs relating to the series were released. I made a joke in an episode that I hated her voice. And I do. Oh god, I do. She sounds like a high-pitched nye 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 nye. The theme song is annoying. I kept skipping it as I watched these 26 episodes. Reiko Amore had a long career though, and she also had a career under the stage name Rei Aihara. And now let's finally talk about the show. But I don't want to. Just didn't impress me. Fancy Lala didn't impress me. No. It wasn't that terrible, but my first thought is, why did this need to be an idol anime? You wanted to be retro and make some horrible mutant using Creamy Mami and Pastel Yumi, but it didn't work. It doesn't work. What was that with the dinosaurs? The first episode starts with a flashback in tribal times, complete with dinosaurs, or gremlins. It's supposedly a dream. Let's not mention it again, cause they sure don't. Miho Shinohara lives a nice life as a latchkey kid with 2 parents that work and a sister in high school. She wants to be a manga artist, but that's also forgotten partway in the series. Magical creatures just hang on to her. Literally. This is explained, sort of. We get Fushigi-san, aka Mystery Man, aka Magical Creeper. She daydreams a lot and would like to be famous and a star. The magical creatures, Pogu and Migu, give her a magical sketchbook and pen, and they explain some basic rules for how to use it. It isn't until the second episode she's scouted to be an idol, and that element starts. This is a far cry from Creamy Mami, whose first episode was wild and crazy. The idol work is more realistic and even answers some of the questions I had with Creamy Mami, like, how does she get paid?
I'd rather have my own bank account than clothes, Dad. Do you think you could arrange that for me?
A bank account?
Don't tell me you've been saving your allowance money.
The rest are sitcom adventures with her classmate, like whether her teacher has a girlfriend, spying on her sister, or finding a kappa. Since cell phones have been invented, Miho can keep in touch with her producers without them just having to wait and hope she shows up like in Creamy Mami. And of course there's the whole keep this secret identity thing. The story and plot is based on practicalities. But is being practical in the Magical Girl series a good thing? I think so, but to a point. I feel that it may be too much and needs some more imagination. I'm saying this about an anime with a magical sketchbook and talking dino babies. Is too much realism a bad thing? Again, magic sketchbook and talking dino babies. And yet I wanted more. One thing it needed more of was time to explore the rules of the magic, the limits and strengths of what she can do with this power. We get episode 8 that shows she can make objects appear as well, and she uses that again in the baseball episode. A good thing is that Miho got to learn an older point of view at times, kinda like something in Rugrats, and where a young person tries to understand the world of adults. I also wanted more use of the drawing abilities. Another thing is her ordinary girl attitude is relatable. She's also mature for her age as well. I felt it needed more comedy. There were also long runs where I was just bored out of my mind watching this. And, well, time to bring up the dub versus sub thing. The dub didn't sound as natural as the sub. I like how it went the extra effort to actually sing the insert songs in English.
It may seem as though you can know all the dreams that I have here in my soul are hidden there only for you to see. だからTransparent覚えててね持ってるふりをしても本当はあなただけなの
Even though they aren't great singers either, you don't see many dubs go the extra mile. I still prefer the sub. Reiko Amore doesn't sound that bad while speaking, right?
あと卵焼きにゆで卵にだってまだお母さんいろいろ教えてくれないんだもん
The animation is perfect at times. Other times it's your standard animation for a TV series, but I do think they made it great a few times each episode. That eye catch is perfect too. Now, you think some of the non-idol and magical elements are going to pay off, but yeah. Miho Dad's works with fossils and bones of dinosaurs. Mystery Man shows up a lot. Miho's sister is hinted at having magical abilities and even had a chance to use it herself. And mother dinosaur mascots. And that cold open with the tribe. Will any of that get answered? And people usually ask, were the dinosaurs ever explained? No. Nope. Nada. Wanna know why? The show got cancelled. There were going to be 52 episodes, but the ratings were low, the toy sales wasn't great, so it got cut off at 26. This is why it seems like a rush in the last few episodes. And you know what? They weren't that good. The ending is one of my major problems with this. No payoff to things that were hinted at. And how does it end? Spoiler alert right here. Okay, you ready? She just loses the sketchbook and pen. That's it. Let's compare it to the Creamy Mami ending that went big, using a time crunch to create conflict, a gorgeous final concert, and a tearful goodbye. The ending of Fancy Lala was very much subdued in comparison. She just lost it. We didn't get a really great final concert either, so idol fail, magical girl fail, fail kid. I do like the final conversation in this series though.
どう？
素敵。
君、ララだよね。ヘアメイクしてたら分かった。だってララのことは僕が一番よく知ってたんだから。
コミさん。
笑ってごらん美穂。あと何年かしたら君は本物のララになれるんだよ。
This probably would have been much better if it wasn't for the cancellation. The magical stage, Fancy Lala, is a show that failed. Failed at reviving the magical girl series of Studio Pierrot. Failed at drawing a large audience. Failed at answering its own questions and proposal ideas. Failed in toys. Failed in being a celebration for the 20th year of Studio Pierrot. So why do people love it? A lot of people like Fancy Lala. Hell, most reviews I've seen praised and loved it. In 1998, it was something different. We had our tropes like long transformation costume sequences, monster of the week, destined love interest, and Fancy Lala went against the trend of magical girls, which was appreciated by many. But the monster it was against premiered 2 days after it did, Cardcaptor Sakura. Cardcaptor Sakura overshadowed the competition with its cute appeal, multiple outfits, and collectible nature to catching cloud cards. It became a child and otaku fan favorite and still has fans to this day. Did this need to be an idol show? No. I honestly think this should never have been an idol show. I feel that it should have been a show where Miho solves problems with drawing magic. The idol thing seemed tacked on in comparison with the lore it was trying to do with the magical dinosaurs. I know why they did it, but I feel like it shouldn't have tried to be Creamy Mami and instead be a pastel Yumi with a side of timeless Ako-chan. Fancy Lala got released by Bandai on DVD in the US back in 2002. The complete collection was released in 2004. It's on Amazon for over $100 because it's rare and well out of print. But you could find it cheaper for $80? Okay, really, just go around and gather the 6 DVDs separately and you'll end up saving some money. And now, the last idol anime of the 20th century. The idol anime that exists, but never existed. Kira Kira Melody Gakuen, or Kiramello, was a seiyuu growing/training project by Ben Presto and AIC in 1999. You may know the name Ben Presto from their involvement in Love Live merchandise, and AIC from making Too Much Damn Tenchi Muyo shows. They gathered a lot of young girls who wanted to become seiyuu and trained them as if they were going to a seiyuu acting/dancing high school, Melody Gakuen. They even had generations of students and did live shows, music, CDs, drama CDs, and they had merchandise that had both the real girls and their anime counterparts. A game was also planned. So, where's the anime? Is there an anime? No, there isn't an anime. The anime and game didn't come out. Yet, the Anime Encyclopedia says it came out in 2001 and was 30 minutes, but nothing exists of it but this one piece of key art. But on the Kira Kira Mulligan Gakuen 2 Gaki video, an animation does exist. It's said to be possibly the opening to that anime. That came out in 1999. Also, the project dissolved in 2001, so how could an OVA come out in 2001? Thus, this is the idol anime that exists, but never existed. I know an idol anime that can take a hint. Piss off, Lala.
この子、高山美月、歌手を夢見る12歳。でもかわいそうに、あと1年の命なの。私たちは彼女の運命を変えないようにするために派遣された死神なんだけど、ひょんなことから彼女を大人に変身させてオーディションに合格させちゃったの。これってもしかして運命変えたことになるんじゃ。さて今日はどうなるのかしらね。
わかったか？
はい。
In the idol world of 2002, Hello Project started a kids search called Hello Project Kids that went on to be Berries Kobo, Cute, Buono, and Mini Moni. The last was popular for a certain meme you've definitely seen before. And changing my life. Not an idol group at all. But they were a band who got commissioned for an idol anime. They wrote songs with Arina Tanemura for the anime, and the seiyuu was also the vocalist of the band, Maiko. Late last decade, Arina Tanemura manga was the front and center of the manga section in bookstores, thanks to Viz Media. Seriously, most of the shoujo I saw was hers. All of her work's been published in the US except for Fudanjuku Monogatari and Neko to Watashi no Kino Yobi. That means you can buy all of the manga for Full Moon o Sagashite in both print and digital right now. Shoujo idol anime and manga differs a lot from more male-orientated idol works. For one, the audience is young girls, so you won't see a lot of the male gaze booty shots or darker stories. And shoujo is about love, growing up, more love, cute outfits, hair, love magic, big huge eye diseases, and some love. It's aimed a lot at preteen and teenage girls and is about the growth of the character and may or may not have a romantic subplot. With Full Moon, I have no problem letting a 9 or 10-year-old watch this. However, I do have a few problems with it, but mostly because I'm coming to this as an adult woman. It starts out with Mitsuki Koyama getting her health checked out and being discouraged to sing because of her throat by her Dr. Wakoji, and musically discouraged by her music-hating grandmother. And she misses her first love, Echi-kun. She has a tumor in her throat and it's getting worse. Then she gets 2 visitors. She is blessed by the presence of Fisher-Price, my first Shinigami!
Available at all Al's Toy Bound outlets in the Tri-County area.
Shinigami are gods or supernatural spirits that invites humans towards death. They are from the Japanese culture. She finds out that she only has 1 year to live. So YOLO! I gotta fulfill my dream to be a singer!
Pain, love, it's all a part of my dream.
No, though, you only live once, that's the motto. YOLO, and we bout it every day, every day, every day. Like we sitting on the bench, we don't really play.
But more than that, she wants to reach her crush and childhood friend, Echi, in America through the power of song. Because letters and emails and phones, they don't exist. They didn't think she'd pass the audition, but she did. Now what? The first episode ends in success. Great! This was such a good way to get you in. It's a perfect first episode for an anime. It has a balance of the depth, love, comedy, characters, angsty memento mori, and all the things that are coming up in the next 52 episodes. But while this is fluffy and cute, it's a bit of a heartbreaker at times because of some of the sadder element. After the debut in episode 1, you get the beginnings of a deep friendship between Mitsuki, Takuto, and Mariko.
What you doing?
What are you doing, Takuto?
What's your problem, Mariko?
What's my problem? Do you even know what you're writing your message on?
You mean this?
Yes, that!
You little blabbermouth! What are you talking about me behind my back?
同期で歌手を目指したっていい歌手にはなれねえ。お前今すぐ歌やめろ。
どうしてそんなこと言うの？
そうよ！いいじゃん、男のためだって！
よくない。
はぁ？
Yeah, they fight all the time. But throughout the series, their bond gets tighter. You meet Oshige-san, who becomes Mitsuki's manager, and due to a Who's on First Perfect Strangers TGIF at 8 situation, she's officially an idol. The show starts out with just some episodes showing the powers of the Shinigami, the problems involved in being an idol, wacky hijinks, and solving problems with Mitsuki's beautiful voice. The show really gets interesting when you have the run of episodes with the rival, Madoka Wakamatsu. Most idol anime nowadays have the type of rival you compete with in performances, but you're actually cool with each other and sometimes become best friends. Welp, not here! This rival, Madoka, is a hardcore and a threat in more than just little teen ways like ripping up a costume. She goes hard. She goes insane. She ruins probably a ton of lives while doing her evil deeds. That's a rival. Also, her version of a competing song isn't that bad. It's like a 90s dance version of slow songs. And like everyone else, they do get some character development. so they're not an evil Sue. In fact, character development is what makes this anime stand out. The Shinigami gets a lot of this. Mariko makes mistakes and learns from them. She gets remorseful. She gets better. Takuto has a lot as he realizes who he is and what he really wants. Psst. It's Mitsuki. She's 12. 12. 12! 12! Okay, later 13, but still too young for your Pinigami. And while we're at it, Eichi, she's 10. You're 16. No. I don't care if she can transform into a screwable age. That's a loli. And yeah, dating a cute older guy is a thing in shoujo. Hell, Sailor Moon has that in the 90s anime. It's still nope. That's one of my problems with this. One of the best things about the show is that the whole usual keep this power a secret and become a Hannah Montana isn't done for long. Wakoji-sensei and Oshika-san are told about the Shinigami and the transformation. That is awesome. That takes a lot of dumb sitcomish antics out of the equation so we could focus on other things. Like your impending death.
Oh no, Mitsuki!
Yeah, it seems that in the first half the whole sickness that can kill you thing was ignored, but it's more at the forefront as we get closer to the end. Her end. A standout episode focusing on this was episode 33. I thought it was just going to be another whatever filler, but it turned out to be an episode that made me want to cry.
Mitsuki-san, かわいい名前だね。
そんなことより答えろよ。
なに簡単なことさ。私の前にも死神が現れてね。私の命はあと1年だと言われたんだ。そりゃ最初は驚いたが、今ではその日を待っているようなもんだよ。
Why isn't there a whole anime about that? Humans versus Shinigami, or humans living their last year and fighting each other to cope with the fact that they're gonna die soon, and see Shinigami on top of that? That should be an anime. Make that an anime, someone. Another character who is also in the manga, but very different in the anime, is Izumi. He picks up where Madoka left off in terms of evil. He seems to be just doing his job at first, but in a cold, dark way, to basically becoming anime Killgrave.
さあ、おいで、ミッキー。下を見てごらん。
This is a kid show! It's bright and colorful. It's cheery and uplifting, and you want Mitsuki to keep fighting to live, singing to live. The theme of the show is making the best of your life, whether it's 1 year left or you're already dead. It's about overcoming your fate. It's amazing how charming this anime is, even though it gets darker due to the circumstances, and at one point I thought it was too ambitious in its storytelling, but it's like fluffy, cute, and realistic. So let's call it Dryerlint. Hey, Dryerlint's fluffy. It's real. It's in your home. It can be cute if you mold it into a heart shape or something. Dryerlint, cute fluffy realism in a physical form. But it's not a perfect show. It ends with the happy ending fairy, here to bring a loophole and maximum snark and sass. Literally. And everything is fixed. Yay! It needed a better ending, but the manga is said to be much better, and I like its ending. The differences between the manga and the anime are simple things, like Mitsuki not going to school or Ecchi being younger, but still too old for her. Or major character differences, backstories, or reasons for the things they do. In some cases, I like how the manga did it. In some other cases, I prefer the anime's take on it. Even though a lot of people seem to say the manga is better, I think they both stand their own if you approach them separately. The flaw I have with the manga is that it seems too coincidental in how things fit. For example, I think the grandmother's reasons and backstory was much more relatable, believable, and sympathetic in the anime. This is a case of the anime being made too soon and thus having to go in a different direction than the manga. So it ends up changing at a certain point. Seriously, I think they should have waited a year before making this anime. There was also a short OVA called Full Moon no Sagashite Kawaii Kawaii Daiboken, or The Cute Cute Adventure. As for the dub versus sub, I watched the series switching between them. I love Mitsuki's Japanese voice, and I can't believe that was also Maiko. Takuto and Mariko were okay, but sadly, the Japanese voices of Mariko and Takuto, the Shinigami, have died. Chieko Honda, who voiced Mariko, passed away from cancer, while Yasuo Saiko was killed in a traffic accident. The songs were beautiful. I haven't liked an anime soundtrack this much since AKB 0048. Unlike a lot of idol anime, the opening didn't use a song from the idol itself. The two openings were from The Scanty. This is such a 90s style opener, but that dance is really cute. The song is called I Love You, or I heart-shaped the letter U. They were even in the anime briefly as a cameo. Cute. The second opening was Rock and Roll Princess. I didn't think it fit the show quite as well as the first though. The Scanty disbanded in 2003. Kinda sucks cause it was a pretty good pop punk band. Changing My Life also disbanded in 2003. And Maiko went solo until 2008 when she joined Quintillion Quiz. Happened in 2003. As for the insert songs and endings, they were done by Full Moon herself. I really wish there were more songs. They didn't really play Smell until the last episode, and Eternal Snow, while thematically it was an important song, I felt every episode used it too much. A couple more songs would have been enough variety for me, but the difference between the overplayedness in Chan's pop session and this is how they used the songs. Sometimes the songs would blend into the ending theme, and that was a good technique to avoid song fatigue. Full Moon got all the good karma Fancy Lala didn't get. Full Moon no Sagashite is like the cousin to the Magical Girl series from Studio Pierrot. Compare Creamy Mami and Fancy Lala to this. Two mascots, check. Magic involved, check. An innocent kid learning about the adult world through the music industry, check. And goddamn, Full Moon is everything Fancy Lala wishes it could be. Why am I saying that? Remember how I talked about how Fancy Lala brought real-world practicality to the Magical Girl story, and how I wasn't sure if that was a good thing? Full Moon makes it work, and you don't end up begging for more magicalness in a freaking story with a talking bunny, cats, dinosaurs with no explanation. Yeah, I'm still pissed about the dinosaurs. The hypothesis that Arina Taranamura was probably inspired by the Magical Girl series makes sense, because art isn't created in a bubble, and she probably grew up with Creamy Mami as well. Also, the retro leanings make it feel more like a 90s anime than a 2000s anime. Some people were confused and thought this was a 90s anime. I don't blame them. Also, Arina Taranamura is an Idol fan. In an interview from 2007, she talks about her love of Morning Musume, and how Mitsuki's hairstyle was based on Ai Kago from Minimoni, so you know the manga series was made with Idol love. Full Moon no Sagashite was released in 2006. Viz Media put 28 episodes of the series on DVD, but discontinued it due to sales. Now, keep in mind, this wasn't like a box set you see today, but several individual discs with about 4 to 5 episodes per disc. This was once the standard of releasing anime stateside, and now it's kind of laughable, especially with a show that's 52 episodes. Also, each disc was $25, and we were on the cusp of the anime crash of 2007. It didn't sell well, and now you can find the 7 discs for super cheap on Amazon, Right Stuff, and any other retailer. But in 2011, we got the rest released by streaming. It was a new age. Streaming anime is how we consume, and Full Moon was at the ready. For a while. It was officially streamed in entirety on Hulu by Viz, but it's gone now. I guess the license expired. It's not even on Crunchyroll. So if you want to watch this, you can buy the DVDs, but then you're gonna have to resort to illegal streaming or the old fan subs that came out back in the day. Other releases besides the manga and anime was the art book for Full Moon. I recommend you pick it up if you're a big fan of Arina Taranamura's manga and art. While you're at it, I want to promote her latest work published in America, Idol Dreams. It's a josei manga, which means women's manga. It's basically an adult magical girl story. I enjoyed this anime. I like Full Moon a lot, and I really needed it after 2 not very good idol shows. And it's a shame that it isn't easily available legally anymore. Crunchyroll, my kami and savior. Come on. Come on. Come on, Desu. I recommend both the Full Moon Sagashite manga and anime. Next time we talk about the moon landing for idols. Wandaba style is go!